This is Henry Frederick of Headline Surfer, and this is our special podcast on Hurricane Irma. And our guest is Chief Craig Capri, Daytona Beach Police Department. Chief Capri, how are you today?
Good, Henry. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. So, a lot of doings, a lot of stuff to be cleaned up still, huh?
You know, it was a busy couple, 3, 4, 5 days here with Hurricane Irma coming through, but, you know, we were lucky. We were very lucky. Thank God.
Now, how'd your family fare in the hurricane?
You know, I got my family out of town before the hurricane hit. I got them out of the state so they were protected so I could focus on doing the job I needed to do. Because if you're here at work and you have to worry about your family, you're not going to be 100% focused and committed to the citizens in the city. So it's best to get them out of town knowing they're safe. Then I can do what I need to do here for the citizens and for our great city.
Certainly, Chief of Police.
Yes, sir.
I would think with the wife and, 3 kids?
Yes.
So would you bring them up to have them drive up to Georgia?
Yeah, to Georgia, got them out of town with the in-laws. The whole family went, even the dog. I boarded my house up, I lowered my pool, and I came to work end of last week, and I actually lived at the police station for about 3 nights.
Now, you had a cart or something?
A little cot, yeah, it's okay, but I didn't use it much because I was working, 20 plus hours a day. And
so would you get a couple hours a day?
About 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, give or take. But you know what? I could sleep this weekend now. I know that our city is safe and our residents are okay and our visitors are okay.
That's going to be pretty tough on, a lot of adrenaline flowing when you have a big event like this with 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Well, I was actually
Category 4, and then it went to a Category 3.
You know, I can tell you, I don't know, I'm not a meteorologist, but I can tell you this, it was windy, and it was wet, and it was dark, and that's all good, because we're police officers, that doesn't bother me. Electrical wires down, whether they're live or not live, that's a little hair-raising. But, we went out there, we did what we had to do to protect our citizens. We were out in the storm, we did what we had to do, and we rescued some people, and, everybody was okay.
How difficult was it for you, Chief, with the predictions of it was going to come up on the eastern side of the state, and it was going to come through the center part, and then it was going to come up through Naples and up the west coast?
Well, it's about preparing and planning, and we had our plan in place going back last week, and we had a very good plan between the police department, fire department, public works, the whole entire city working together, and we were monitoring the storm several days out from the EOC. So we knew we were tracking right up to the last minute when those winds were coming, and we were prepared. About 11 o'clock Sunday night into about 5, 6 o'clock Monday morning was our peak time, and there was winds up to 60, 70 miles an hour sustained, some 80, 90 mile an hour gusts, but we were out in the storm out there, myself and the Sheriff Chitwood. We were out there with the city manager, Jim Chisholm. We were out there, we did a rescue. There was a flooded apartment complex on at 1025 South Beach Street. It's called Sail Point Bay Apartments.
Yeah.
We had several 911 calls for help. Myself, the sheriff, and Mr. Chisholm, Jim Chisholm, our city manager, loaded up in these trucks that we have. They're called water trucks from the military. And these trucks are equipped to go in 6 to 8 feet of water for rescues.
Is that an MRAP or is that similar to
No, we
that?
had the MRAP, but the MRAP can only go so far because, we couldn't get in there. So we had to use these water trucks that we got from Fort Stewart, the sheriff did. And we went out there, we rescued about 25 people. You're not going to find too many city managers in the country going out there at 3 o'clock in the morning rescuing citizens, which is great. It just goes to show you the type of city we have, the leadership we have. We lead from the front, we lead from the top. So I'm very pleased at our response to Hurricane Irma.
Now, just to put things in perspective for people, you have a pretty large city. You have the whole mainland.
Yes.
Then you have the beach side.
Yes.
And you have, 65,000 people, regular population. Then it can swell to
500,000.
500,000, just like that for the Daytona 500 or, spring break isn't as big as it used to be, but still, you get the summer tourism season.
The families, year-round we have stuff going on here, Henry. This city is an event town. It's event-driven. But you know what? We prepare for these events for years. In my 27 years here at the police department, we're conditioned for this. So when a hurricane comes, it's really not a big deal to us because as far as the planning aspect of it, we have our plan, we stick to our game plan, and just hope for the best, and we did good here. We did have one fatality last night. We had a young person, female, that was got exposed to carbon monoxide poisoning by running a generator inside of her apartment.
Don't these people get it?
Well, Henry, it's a tragedy, but I can tell you that we put a public service announcement out a couple days ago on our social media page. The news has been talking about it. Do not leave generators.
Yeah,
in your
you
house.
had it out there.
Yes.
The sheriff's office had it out there.
It's just
police agencies across Central Florida. No generator in the house or the apartment.
Unfortunately, there were several deaths in
or
the
even
state.
garage.
Yes, there were several deaths in the state in regards to carbon monoxide poisoning from generators being inside the house. We had 2 deaths last year So we really wanted to stress that point.
Well, 2 of the 5 were
Yes.
carbon monoxide related.
Yes.
I can't be sure, but I think I heard something about 8 people in South Florida
Yes.
dead. No air conditioning. Well, no, this was a temperate issue.
I heard,
no air
I heard
conditioning.
there was a nursing home that they left.
Yeah.
They left people there. I don't know. And I don't
And-
know if that's
and they
true.
didn't have air
I don't know
conditioning
if that's
on.
true, but if that's the case,
That is
why
the
would you
case.
leave people there like that?
I
You
just
gotta
think
rescue them.
I just think it was the water was filling up, and people just some people just don't care.
Well, you know what? As police officers, we care. As first responders, we care. And firemen and whatever, police, we're going to go in there and get everybody out and then worry about ourselves. And that's what we get paid for, and that's what we do. So that would never happen here in Daytona Beach, because I would make sure that that doesn't happen.
Now, you're a pretty intense guy
Yeah.
in general, so am I,
Sir.
as you know from years of dealing with one another.
Yes, sir.
But you seem to be really stoked right now. Are you still on that adrenaline high?
Yeah. I'm just so happy the way the plan went into effect, because last year we learned lessons learned from Matthew as we come into Irma. And one thing we learned was we need to be better planned for this storm than last year. And I think we came up with a great plan, our command staff and city officials. And to see that plan come to fruition and everything work out, we had the one tragedy, unfortunately, with the carbon monoxide poisoning, and 2 other.
But
people.
there's nothing you can do to stop that.
We can't be.
I mean, you were pretty proactive in telling people get off the barrier island.
I thought we did everything we could, and we're going to go back and critique ourselves next week as we come out of our hurricane deployment phase officially tomorrow morning, and then we're going to start looking at, okay, what do we do? What can we do better for the next hurricane or the next storm or the next crisis? So we have a great department here. I'm very blessed.
Yeah, you have a $33 million budget, and I
Yep.
believe you have
Yes, sir.
248 or 250
About
officers.
248 sworn. I got about another 50 to 60, 70 part-time officers, probably another 50 to 60 special event officers, and about 35 civilians. So
You got recruits coming too, don't you?
yeah. We used all hands on deck during the hurricane.
So I was going to ask you, how many people do you think you had altogether here at the height of the hurricane in those
Probably a couple hundred.
24 to 36 hours?
Probably a couple hundred people.
That's takes a lot of coordination.
Well, like I said, we've been planning for this 7-10 days ago. We had a plan in place. We have a great plan. And when I say 7-10 days ago, that was just kind of the finalizing plan. All year we've been planning from lessons learned from Matthew. And one good thing that saved us, I'd like to bring up the point, is that Matthew, there was a lot of old trees and debris that hadn't been cleared for about 10 years. Hurricane Matthew comes through, caused a lot of damage. Well,
but that was a good pruning.
Well, that's what I was going to get to, Henry, because for 8-9 months after Matthew, we were picking up debris.
It took forever to take it up,
but you know what? Now for Irma, there wasn't much debris to be picked up. A lot of the roadways were cleared. I was out on the road riding about 3 o'clock in the morning in this storm, going to that rescue, and I'm looking for debris on the road. I couldn't find any debris.
Where the world's most famous beach sign is, where the pier is, that part of that building was torn away.
Yeah, I saw some of the
Is that like the worst of it? It didn't seem like you had a lot of structural damage.
A lot of cosmetic damage here.
Cosmetic, but not like roofs torn away.
No, but you know what, Henry? I'll take cosmetic and property damage all day long than the loss of human life. And we had no loss of human life
other than the
storm, other than the carbon monoxide, which was after. And that's where most of your injuries and deaths occur. Once the storm's gone, in the recovery, in the cleaning up phase and mitigation phase is when you have people usually get hurt and killed, unfortunately.
And when do you think that the city will return to normal?
Well, the city probably by this weekend. I know that the city hall is open for business today. Our police department's been open. We are in a hurricane deployment operational mode, but tomorrow morning we go back to regular operations. And like I said, we're going to keep doing what we need to do to make our citizens and our visitors.
Now, did you have your
safe
zones, or I don't remember if you work like 10-hour shifts or 12-hour shifts?
Everybody was on 12-hour shifts, 12 on, 12 off, and we had different locations. We had we had the Daytona Beach Police Department headquarters at Valor, 129 Valor Boulevard, and we had another office set up at Embry-Riddle's campus at the ICI Sports Center, their basketball arena.
Yeah,
we had firefighters
space
and police out there, and that we put that for a reason, because that was kind of center in the city, and if we needed to respond out to rescue people, it would be easier to go from there than here at Valor.
Now, I know regular civilians, like myself, it was hell getting gas. I'm glad I got it when I did, and I got a couple of things in the trunk. But for police officers, you got to gas up a lot of vehicles.
We had gas taken care of at our city yards, but I can tell you, Governor Rick Scott did a great job leading this state through this crisis, this hurricane. He should be commended for the leadership he displayed, the constant press conferences, the involvement, looking out, planning. He did a phenomenal job. And
he was everywhere.
He was everywhere. I was with him last Thursday. Myself and Sheriff Chitwood were with him.
What about food and water for your officers?
More than enough food and water.
Where did you get it though? I mean, did you have that stocked up?
We had the city had bought some stuff in plan, and we were cooking at Municipal Stadium and delivering the food out. We also had several donations from Walmart. We had donations from Sam's Club. We had donations from Five Guy Hamburgers, donated all their meat that was going to go bad that we had.
Right.
So we had cakes and cookies and snacks.
Did you have enough bread? Nobody could find any bread and milk anywhere.
We had a regular. This was a regular restaurant here. It was great. So I mean, the food and water. That was not even an issue.
I would think you'd need those carbs and that energy.
Carb up, yeah.
To keep these cops, morale not
was
an
at
issue.
an all-time high. And I'll tell you why,
high.
because we had a great plan, and we shared that plan several days ago. We sent the plan out to email everybody so they can read the plan, and they knew what to expect, and morale was at an all-time high.
Well, morale's been great for the last 6 months anyway.
Yeah, well,
it's really picked up a lot.
It has.
And that's a testament to you.
Well, thank you, Henry.
Which is one of the reasons why you're one of our top cops overall in Central Florida.
That, Henry. I appreciate that.
Do you feel like you've stepped out of the shadow of the sheriff now in terms of, I know just a hurricane, but overall, you're the chief of police.
I'm the chief of police, but I have the utmost respect for Sheriff Chitwood. We work very well together. As a matter of fact, we were out in the storm working together. It was like the old days, running around, saving people, doing what we need to do. And I have nothing but respect for him. He does a great job for the county, and I do a great job for the
And
state.
I would think that he had to go to a lot of different spots.
He was all over.
Where you were like, this was your territory.
This is my
the
city, and I protected it, but the sheriff was all over. But when I needed something, I called him, and he came through and helped me out, and that's what we do.
I guess the big thing were those vehicles, right?
Those water vehicles were great that we got from the military. Those things were great.
Any problems with looters? I know there were some cities that had some robberies, and you had a few, right?
We caught 3 guys breaking into a gift shop, stealing T-shirts and crap. We caught them. The storm had broken the window.
What is that like when you see
Atlantic,
these?
I believe, Ocean Club.
When you see these clowns in operation like that?
Well, it's stupidity, and they were trying to run out the store, and we caught them. And then Port Orange had some incidents. We had a couple burglaries, and we caught one guy with the jewelry from a jewelry store he broke into on Seabrook.
He had a hammer, and he smashed a couple of panes of glass to get this jewelry.
Yeah, he was wearing the jewelry when we caught him, and he confessed. So, and we're clearing that up. So, it's just unfortunate that people take advantage of situations like a hurricane when people come. But you know what? That's very few and far between. Most of the people, it was great to see the American spirit. People looking out for each other, people helping each other, people working together. But you're going to have a few people there that just don't get it, that are criminals and that are part of the problem. But they're very few compared to the overall commitment of everybody working together.
How was the homeless situation during the height of the hurricane?
We took care of everybody. Just because you're homeless doesn't mean you're not going to be taken care of. I don't look at somebody homeless. If you want to, everybody gets treated the same. Everybody gets taken care of the same. And we provided shelter or got anybody, any citizen, any human being to safety and shelter.
Everybody rode together to wherever they need to get, right?
Let's get people.
No segregation or.
No, but they had a shelter set up for the homeless at the Salvation Army and people were like saying
special needs.
Special needs. There was medical people there.
Drinking, alcohol.
Yeah, there was counselors there. That's all that was for. But if a homeless person went to any shelter, they can go in.
Can you swing over to Legends Lane and take that theft real quick? I think you're closest to that. Or there's a trespasser down.
We're back with Chief Craig Capri. We're talking about Hurricane Irma and surviving the big hurricane. And Hurricane Irma was different from Matthew, like we talked about a few minutes earlier.
Yes.
We had the debris that was cleared out with Matthew.
Huge help.
So that helped to get vehicles around.
Big time.
And, there wasn't much stuff, a lot of cosmetics this time around.
Yes.
And you take that, like you said,
I'll take cosmetic and property damage over human life or injuries.
Now, a lot of people didn't leave the beachside, did they?
No, but a lot more than I thought than Matthew. I think a lot of people were scared after seeing what happened at Harvey in Texas, and that was kind of fresh in their minds. And I think a lot of people heeded the advice, and got out of here. But we still had some people over there, but nothing. We didn't get any rescue calls on the beach side. And
now that water surge was pretty high early on.
No, the beach side didn't get as much water surge as we thought. It was the intercoastal.
That's what I meant.
The west side. The west side got torn up. The Beach Street, Palmetto, underwater. Beach Street, all the businesses north and south beach were underwater. High tide, storm surge, all mixed together with the winds. It created quite a little nasty mess down there.
Did you have people that were stranded that wished they had evacuated, or was it pretty much
just the call we had down at the Sail Point Bay Apartments, where people were calling when the water started coming in their apartments around 4 or 5 in the morning? They were scared. Pitch dark.
They had to go.
No power, and the water's coming, and it was rising quick, so we had to go down there and get them. But that was it.
How long did you have the bridges closed?
I think we closed them, I want to say, midday Sunday till about 10. I want to say, let's say around 7 o'clock on Sunday, and we opened them up probably around 10 o'clock. We opened 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday. So not very long.
Sunday was the hurricane.
Yeah, right before it came in, the
Yeah.
bridges were open up until right about early evening.
Any issues with wildlife?
No.
Anything like that? Manatees?
No.
Dolphins?
Nothing.
I know when I drove over to Daytona from Sanford a couple days after the hurricane, there was a seagull on I-4 that I almost hit. And I talked to a deputy in DeBarry, and he said he actually hit one. I guess they're disoriented from
Yeah,
all
could
the winds and everything. So you didn't have anything major issues with
nothing
wildlife.
major as far as animals. No, we were lucky. I mean, no issues with like dogs or cats or feral cats or dogs. No animal issues. Our animal control issues were nothing. We rescued a dog though on Beach Street. We helped them. One of the tenants that had a dog, we helped get the dog out of there. So.
You didn't have any.
Lizard.
You didn't have any stray animals or dogs that were left behind, tied up.
Nope.
That could have drowned or anything like that.
Nothing. Our citizens did a great job at preparing and planning.
How would you describe the mentality or the will of the people in general with this hurricane? They seem to be a little frightened, but they seem to be more.
I think people were
in
frightened,
gear?
yes, but they were kind of dialed in to the point where they felt like, okay, this is serious. Let me take this serious. Let me plan and prepare. And the ones that stayed were prepared. And the ones that left were also prepared because they left. So I think the citizens should be commended for the job they did. And the visitors that were here loved. Some of them stayed too. And the hotels had some people in the hotels. I know a lot of the news crews, the media, they were great. They listened to us. They worked with us. There was no cowboys out there. They were just,
right. Everybody
kind of did their thing and everybody worked together. Things went really smooth, Henry. I got to be honest with you. We stuck to our game plan. We stuck to our plan, and we were successful.
Now, this is your first big rodeo as police chief.
Yes.
Anything you learned that you might do differently the next time around? If critiquing yourself?
We're still reviewing that. So we're going to meet next week with my command staff and several other key stakeholders, and we're going to go over. Okay, let's talk about what do we do good, what do we do bad, what can we improve on the next time. So I can't answer that now.
Any regrets? I mean, you seem to be somewhat in a median here. Not so great, not real bad.
I think we did very well.
Level-headed.
I think we're great. I think we did great, but we can always do better, even if it's one thing. So let's review our plan. Let's modify our plan. Let's make the adjustments now to prepare for the next hurricane. Because I hate to say it, there's going to probably be another hurricane or a tornado or a natural disaster or some kind of critical incident that we need to be prepared for, but we need to keep practicing and planning every day.
Well, having covered these streets all these years,
yes.
I'm pretty plugged in, and I got to tell you, I heard a lot of compliments about your leadership here.
Thank you. I try to lead from out front. I try to be a strong leader, and with the best interests of the men and women of this police department first, the citizens, the safety, and if there's anything left for me at the end, I'll take it because it's not about me. It never will be.
So your family will be coming back. They're on I-75.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And you can return to normal.
I don't know about normal. I got 3 young kids. So, my house is never normal.
That's normal.
There's less pressure here with the hurricane. No, I'm just kidding. I love my family. I'm glad they're coming back. I miss them.
Well, for Chief Craig Capri, this is Henry Frederick. This has been our special Hurricane Irma podcast, and we look forward to doing some more of these. Chief Capri, thank you, and God bless you and your family.
Great.